I am Daniel Madison. This is the perfect deal.
Once the participant has shuffled the playing cards, the magician spreads the deck face up across the surface. He looks through the deck and writes down a prediction. He then invites his participant to write down 4 numbers between 1 and 52. The magician then deals playing cards face up. He removes the 4 playing cards at the 4 numbers. He then invites his participant to reveal the prediction where she finds the very 4 playing cards at those 4 numbers.
Not this again. Here we go again.
Susan, what are you doing? I mean, I appreciate the effort and the energy, but it's not really believable as a real reaction, do you know what I mean?
It's not you, Daniel. I've just eaten too many sausages.
Typical. I'm Daniel Madison, and this is Perfect Deal. I am Daniel Madison, welcome back, and thanks for being here. Charlie Madison and I truly appreciate you choosing to spend a bit more time with us today, so thank. In this video I'm going to teach something called Perfect Deal, a perfect deal. If you haven't seen my previous 2 videos, what are you doing? Go watch them. This follows on nicely from Diamonds and Perfect Aces. I've called this one Perfect Deal. It's inspired by and it's a development of something I used to call AX3. We're going to have our participant shuffle the playing cards. Once they've shuffled, I'm going to spread those playing cards out and I'm going to choose 4 random playing cards from within the deck. Then I'm going to ask my participant, Susan Sausage, to write down 4 random numbers between 1 and 52, and that those very 4 numbers are the very 4 playing cards that I wrote down before we even began. It's almost like real magic, Charlie. This one is quite similar to Diamonds and to Perfect Aces. However, the difference in this case, because all the attention is on the prediction, is on what's been written down, as well as the dealing playing cards into a lovely little row. Nobody is looking at the dirt. Nobody's looking at the deceptive method. So for anybody who's trying to build up the confidence to do bottom deals or to execute any false deals in front of somebody but's a little bit scared, a little bit worried about getting found out or getting seen or doing it wrong, this is a great trick for you. This is a good one to practice your bottom deal in front of somebody, because they're not going to be looking at the deck, they're going to be looking at the magic right in front of them. There's a lot to cover in this video, so I don't want to waste too much time. Before we get into it though, a few things. One, do you like my t-shirt? You can have one if you want. There's a link in the video description, and I'll be talking about these very beautiful playing cards very soon. Without further ado, I'm Daniel Madison, Charlie Madison. This is the Perfect Deal. For this explanation, I'm going to use the 4 aces. I've already got them on the bottom of the deck. Once you know the exact method, once you know how to do this, we're going to talk about how you're going to achieve this with 4 random playing cards, which is how the trick should work. It just makes it clearer and easier for me to explain when we use 4 aces. So I'm going to keep those at the bottom of the deck for now. If you haven't seen my previous 2 videos, they both deal with tricks that kind of surround false dealing, and this is another one of those tricks. However, this trick is going to be very helpful and very useful for anybody who's working on false dealing but hasn't quite got the confidence to do it in front of anybody yet. This trick is designed to completely hide the false deal in the trick itself, within the deception. At the moment that you execute the dirt, you like that, Charlie? At the moment that you execute the dirty moment, the deceptive moment, nobody's looking, because everybody's looking somewhere else. That's how it's designed. So if you have a bottom deal, a grief deal, a false deal that you feel isn't quite ready and you're not confident enough with it, you can do it in this trick. I'm not advising that. I would never condone that, Charlie, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't say if you've got a bottom deal, go out and perform it. However, this trick is a very good way of practicing your bottom deal without the trick having anything to do, apparently, with a bottom deal. Yes, Charlie, I did air quotes, and I'll never do it again, I apologize. I'm now going to take the pen and the piece of paper. I'm going to take the deck and I'm going to spread it across the surface so that all the cards can be seen. And I want my audience at this point, I want Susan Sausage, my beautiful participant, to believe that I am choosing playing cards from different parts of the deck, 4 different playing cards, and I'm going to write them down. Really, all I'm doing is writing down the 4 bottom playing cards, right? But I want to make it look like I'm choosing a card from here, card from here, card from here. So once I spread the playing cards out, instantly I look over here and I remember the 4 bottom playing cards. Now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to pretend to write one down over here, but I'm just going to write down, for our sake, for the explanation, Ace of Spades. Now I'm going to go over here and pretend to choose one from here, Ace of Hearts. And now a bit further down, Ace of Clubs. Wow, that's a beautiful club. And then Ace of Diamonds. Now I'm going to take this piece of paper and place it face down so that nobody can see those playing cards, the playing cards that I've just written down. It's important at this point that I close the deck, turn it face down so that all the cards are hidden and nobody can see them. I'm going to ask Susan Sausage to write down 4 random numbers between 1 and 52 on this piece of paper. However, now that I've closed the deck and there's been a little bit of time, I can show these playing cards to the audience, as long as I don't show Susan. I don't want her to see, but I can show them to somebody else, just to kind of not overprove, but to show people that these are not going to change. We're not going to change these playing cards. These are the playing cards that I'm committing to, so I can show them to my audience. Now I can put it back down and say, Susan, write down 4 random numbers between 1 and 52 so that everybody can see. This, you might instinctively as a magician think this should be one of those moments that nobody sees, is these numbers should be private, I shouldn't have to know the numbers. But the openness of the trick allows the trick to be so much more casual, and it forces our focus onto the secrecy of these playing cards rather than the secrecy of something else. We don't want to share out our secrecy, Charlie. We want to keep it all focused on the same place, which is the revelations, not the numbers. So for our sake, let's go 3, 7, 12, 18. 4 random numbers. Yes, they are known numbers, but that's for our benefit. What this does, now that Susan's written down those 4 numbers, this instructs us which playing cards from the deck are going to be bottom deals. So every number that we hit, number 3, number 7, number 12, number 18, these are all going to be bottom deals, but we're going to perform and present this in a way that nobody knows that this is what's happening. If we tell somebody right now, right, I'm going to deal to those cards, and at those numbers there will be a specific playing card. If we do that, then we're inviting our audience to pay very close attention to the deck. Right now, about 30% of our audience is going to understand and know what's going to happen just from the instruction, just from what's happened so far. But the way that we're going to continue this, the way that our behavior towards the deck, towards these numbers, and especially in the behavior that we're going to deal the playing cards and how we're going to deal them, it's going to lead everybody off track, and it's going to feel so much more casual than it actually is. This is our secret weapon. This allows us to force people to look away from the dirt, from the deception itself. So now we have to achieve 4 bottom deals, and we know exactly where we need to achieve them, and the way that we're going to hide them is by getting the deck ready. Now when we deal playing cards, we're going to deal them in a row so that people can see all of the playing cards, and we've got up to 18, so we've got up to 18 playing cards there. I'm going to deal, I'll leave this where we can see it very much. I'm going to deal about 22, 23 playing cards, and I'm not going to look at this, right? I'm not going to slow down, I'm not going to stop, I'm not going to be interrupted, and I'm not going to look over here. I'm just going to make it look like I'm dealing playing cards into a row, just kind of consecutively at my own pace, at my own speed. Meanwhile, when we hit those numbers, we're gonna deal from the bottom of the deck. I want to deal these playing cards face down and have them end face up on the table in a spread face up. There are so many technical differences and different styles of dealing which will have a direct impact on the way you bottom deal. We'll talk about that later on. Right now we're going to focus on the point. The way that I do this, just deal from the top, turn it face up. Deal from the top, turn it face up. 2. Now I'm at number 3, I'm going to bottom deal. Deal from the top, face up, bottom deal. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, bottom deal. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, bottom deal, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, bottom deal, 18, 19, 20, 21. Wait, and how many cards have we got? I dealt about 21 playing cards then. So that's why I say when we get to this point, I deal all the way up to this, all the way up to about 22, 23, a few numbers past the final number 18. Now I'm gonna go, oh wait, did we go past the biggest number? Have we gone past the biggest? Yeah, we did, we went past 18. Right, so we've got enough playing cards to fill these numbers. Now I'm gonna step back. I don't have to do anything else. Everything's done, and our participant can take over and do everything else. All the revelations, no more manipulation or no more dirt has to happen. At this point, we're gonna point out these numbers. Now we're gonna act as if we're only just paying attention to these numbers at this point. So now I'm gonna get the piece of paper and say, well, so you wrote 3, 7, 12, 18, and we've got about 23 cards there. Let's find the cards at these numbers. Look, 1, 2, and we'll up jog them. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. It's a beautiful thing if you invite your participant to do all of this, of course. If your participant's right there with you, get them to do this, because the amount of power that you can add to a magic trick by having them do everything and having them touch everything, your hands-off approach, your ability to stand back makes the magic, makes the drama, makes the impact so beautiful. At this point, we've got our numbers. At this point, our participant, our audience probably know what's going to happen next. They've probably clued up, and now all that's left to do is the revelation of saying, I wrote something down before you wrote your numbers. Turn the piece of paper over. In this case, we know that they're aces, so she turns them over and sees ace of spades, ace of hearts, ace of clubs, ace of diamonds, and of course they're in that very order. Just take the deck of playing cards, give it a shuffle, and then spread the deck out, and now look at your bottom 4 playing cards, and that's the trick. I'm going to write down 9 of club, 7 of heart, jack of spades, and 4 of club. So there's a trick. Now I close the deck and I invite them to write down 4 numbers. Let's do this again. 3, 8, 13, 21. 3, 8, 13, 21. At this point, I think it's worth saying that the flow is the most important thing, and this is probably going to be the most challenging moment for you. The idea of dealing up to, in our case, the highest number is 21, so dealing up to 23, mixture of fair deals and deceptive deals without an uninterrupted flow is quite challenging. So the best advice I can give is to go a little bit slower than you usually would with a deal. Even if we do it at the right speed, we allow our participant to focus so much more on the playing cards as they land, so they can register them, so they can recognize them, rather than looking at us dealing while we're doing it. So for me, it would be 1, 2, bottom deal, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, bottom deal, 9, 10, 11, 12, bottom deal, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, bottom deal, 21, 22, 23, 24. Well, let's stop here. This allowed me to slow the bottom deal down. It allowed me to do the bottom deal so much more comfortably, so much more relaxed, because I know that everybody's looking here rather than here. Because if they are one step ahead, if they do now understand at this point what these numbers are for, they're going to be looking here on the table rather than up here in my hand to see what I'm doing. So it kind of works out perfectly. At this point, invite them to do this. 3, position 8, position 13, and position 21. We know the cards, of course. Invite them to turn this over. 9, 7, jack, 4, and of course they're in the exact order, in that consecutive order. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned this, if we take these out and go back in time a little bit, when these were at the bottom of the deck, don't worry, I have a duplicate 9 of clubs in there. You could writing these down kind of in reverse order to what you see them. So on the bottom of the deck, 9, 7, jack, 4, right? But when we write them down, it's 9, 7, jack, 4. You understand? So the bottom playing card, you write that down first. You don't write the 4 down, then the jack, then the 7. Nope, you go 9, 7, jack, 4, because when you're dealing them and you're force dealing them, you're putting them in a reverse order that makes them go 9, 7, jack, 4. And that is the trick. There's so much more that I can talk about with this trick. different variations of dealing, different ways of putting those playing cards down, a different idea which allows your participant to do the dealing also, but that becomes a different trick. But for now, we're going to end that here. Let's go to the outro. Thanks for your time. That was the perfect deal. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did enjoy it, you're gonna love the next video. The next video follows on kind of, but it becomes so much more magical. I'm going to talk a lot more about these playing cards and some other playing cards that I haven't even shown anybody yet. I'm going to be doing quite a special deck giveaway very soon, and I'll be back soon with some more dope tutorials. Make sure you subscribe so you get my notification bell going ding 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 every time I drop a new tutorial. And that's it for now. That's Charlie Madison. I am Daniel Madison, and this was Perfect Deal.